The book of Revelation is not an easy book to understand. There is much content that is repeated, the order of events is inconsistent, and there are often misplaced interludes in between. How can we better understand the only letter from the Lord? Let us outline the events recorded in this letter and shape its structure by employing the chiastic pattern, a common literary device in the Bible. The first related parallel element is Christ's greeting and conclusion. At the start of the letter, there is the repeated declaration of the book of Revelation's authorship. At the end of the letter, corresponding to this, is the repeated confirmation that the Lord Christ will fulfill his promise to return. The second related parallel element reveals prophecies concerning the church. Early on, it mentions the condition of the 7 churches of that time, which reflects an epitome of the church today. The Ephesian church that lost its first love. The Smyrna church that endured tribulation and remained faithful. The Pergamum church that committed spiritual adultery. The Thyatira church that loved one another yet forgot to hold fast to the truth. The Sardis church that, because of wealth and ease, no longer stayed vigilant. The Philadelphia church that, regardless of circumstances, always bore witness for the Lord. And the lukewarm Laodicean church. Corresponding to this in the latter part is the eternal blessing that the victorious, united church will inherit. The third related parallel element reveals prophecies about worship. Earlier, the letter reminds believers that worship on earth should mirror the pattern of worship in heaven. In the latter part, corresponding to this, is the unified worship of all creation under heaven, after the bride and the harlot receive their final rewards and punishments according to their respective choices. The fourth related parallel element reveals prophecies about judgment. Earlier, the outline of judgment is recorded in the 7 seals of the scroll. These judgments will continue until the Lord's second coming. In between, there is the interlude of the seal of God, which demonstrates God's care amid tribulation. In the latter part, corresponding to this, are the 7 visions following the Lord's descent. Judgment has a beginning and an end, and these 7 visions usher the world into eternity. In between, there is the interlude of the millennium, which demonstrates God's salvation amid tribulation. The fifth related parallel element reveals the nature of calamities and their final forms. After the scroll is opened, earlier sections describe 7 angels sounding the 7 trumpet plagues. These represent calamities that recur in different times and places. In between, there is the interlude of the mighty angel and the 2 witnesses, demonstrating God's watchfulness amid tribulation. In the latter part, corresponding to this, are the 7 bowl plagues that follow the rapture of the saints, poured out on the earth in a single day by 7 angels, bringing about the earth's final destruction. Those left behind thus meet their death and enter the great judgment. The sixth related parallel element reveals prophecies about the true and false churches. Earlier, it records that the true church, the bride, though constantly persecuted by the red dragon, the sea beast, and the land beast, remains protected by God. In the latter part, corresponding to this, is the account of the false church, named the Great Prostitute Babylon. She represents all the world's cultures and ideologies, leading people astray to worship false gods and mammon, and to turn away from the one true God. The center, which is also the theme of this parallel and interwoven structure, is the ultimate wedding, in chapter 14. The 144,000, namely all the groups belonging to the church, gather to become the bride, and unite with Christ in marriage. The Lord God will dwell with his people forever, while those who did not follow the Lord will be eternally separated from him and enter into eternal punishment. Explaining Revelation according to this structure should bring more clarity and order. May the Lord keep us faithful, as we wait for his return.